Welcome to another week of the wonderful world of dodgy movies with me, your host, movie and TV Mistress. Ready for a Jeffrey Jones film? Last week, I had a lovely comment from an old friend of mine, Robert Render, on my YouTube video of American Rabbit, saying that in honour of the gift, but he'd written git, I'm hoping he meant gift, that I should do a review of Howard the Duck. Because, well, he's right there and I keep mentioning him. But I have plans for Howard, so not quite yet. Instead, I'm reviewing another Jeffrey Jones film. One which I think can safely be said is a lot worse than Howard the Duck. Here's a trailer for Mom and Dad Save the World from 1992.
Woodland Hills Suburbia, home of Marge and Dick Nelson.
Dick, don't drink from the carton.
Nothing unusual ever happens to them.
Bye.
But this weekend, they're taking a little trip.
Soon, Marge Nelson, you will be mine. Activate the magno-beam.
Now they're on their way
Scoot over a little. Oh, I want to get one of you and Saturn.
Don't take my picture. Don't take...
to the smallest, weirdest planet in the galaxy,
Bingo!
They're here.
where girls are fish,
What are these, your pets? Oh, I see. It's your family.
boys are dogs,
Ow! Get your paws off of me. Who's your supervisor?
and everyone else is just plain stupid.
Impressed?
Who would have thought that Marge and Dick
Marry me, Marge, and become the Queen of Spengo.
would save the world?
Let me out of here!
Let me out of here.
I have information vital to the future of your planet and my own. Take the information and escape.
Finally, a motion picture that asks the age-old question, is there intelligent life in the universe?
You're welcome.
The answer is no.
Doors!
Teri Garr, Jeffrey Jones, John Lovitz, Kathy Ireland, and Eric Idle. Mom and Dad Save the World.
You're a cute little fella.
Directed by Greg Beeman.
Mom and Dad Save the World, the film which opened nationwide on over 1,000 screens. The film the Daily News said had broader laughs than Bill and Ted, and called it funny family fare like Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. A gem, said KABC TV, a cross between Saturday Night Live, Little Shop of Horrors, and the Keystone Cops. Fun, daffy, charming, John Lovitz gives one of the zaniest performances ever recorded on film, said the Baltimore Sun. Wonderful, dazzling, enchanting family entertainment, said the Academy of Family Films. Mom and Dad Save the World, now being released on home video with special foil packaging. And with each 3-pack you order, get 100 Mom and Dad Save the World recycled plastic bags to give out to your best rental customers. Mom and Dad Save the World.
This film, I have no idea how or why it was made. HBO and Warner Brothers are behind this, and I thought better of HBO and Warner Brothers. And John Lovitz, I thought was funny at one point, so I don't know what happened there. Teri Garr is quite funny. This film is not funny. I sat and watched all the movie, including the entire credits, just to see if there was anything I could find out about who was behind this. And I didn't laugh once. Now, when this came out, I thankfully did not see it. This movie was in the cinemas for 1 week and it was pulled after 1 week. This movie cost $14 million to make. I'm not sure where that money went. I'm assuming it went on the cast, because the special effects are the worst I've ever seen in a feature-length movie. And it's 1992. It's not like it's the 70s and it's bad blue screen. It's 1992. We had Jurassic Park. I digress. So, this movie, as I say, cost $14 million to make. It only made just under $3 million back in its box office. And I'm surprised it even made that much back. To anyone who saw this at the cinema in that 1 week that it was there, I feel so sorry for you that you sat through that. I sat through it, and I feel violated for having to sit through that film. But if we're going to compare it to Howard the Duck, at least, though it was cost $37 million to make, yes, George Lucas was behind it, yes, ILM special effects, and these special effects are awesome. This is 6 years before Mom and Dad Save the World. So I know George Lucas put way too much money into Howard the Duck. But Howard the Duck made $38 million on its box office returns. So at least it made a profit of at least $1 million. In comparison to Mom and Dad Save the World, it lost money. And it's out on DVD. Why? Anyway, so the plot is Mum and Dad, Dick and Marge, and expect lots of dick jokes in this film, and there are plenty, including size jokes, because the planet Spengo that Jon Lovitz is the emperor of is small, and he must be making up for something. Oh, and he's bald and has no hair, so he has to put on wigs. This movie, I would have given a little bit more lenience towards if it was from the 1950s. It feels like it was written as if it was the 1950s. This movie feels like if it was in the 1950s it would have been fine, because it would have been like the typical, B movies that we all sort of joked about, that have been made reference to, Attack of the 50-Foot Woman, etc. But no, this movie was written in the 90s. It was made in 1991 and distributed in 92. And I don't know who it's aimed at. It's not aimed at adults because it's just stupid. And it's too stupid for children. They refer to all the Spengo people as idiots. Eric Idle refers to them as idiots and says he's an idiot because he's the king who got overthrown by Todd Spengo, played by Jon Lovitz. You expect some sort of comedy in this film when you've got Jon Lovitz, you've got Teri Garr, and you've got Eric Idle. But there's no funny bits in this. It's like they wanted to do a Flash Gordon serial type movie where a mum and dad called Dick and Marge are brought to the planet Spengo to I don't know. I know the reason. Todd wants to blow up Earth because he's jealous of Earth because it's bigger than his planet. See, size jokes. He then sees Marge, played by Teri Garr, exercising in what I would only describe as classic 80s sort of bouffant hair and tracksuit, like you would see a couple power walking down the street. And he goes, I love her so much, bring her to me. And they decide to bring her to Spengo when they're going on holiday by magnetically beaming both her and Dick in the car to the planet's bingo. So she doesn't realise, she thinks she's there for a wedding, that the Emperor wanted them to attend a wedding, but she doesn't realise that she is the bride. And her husband gets split up, and he then has to fight his way out and go and help the rebellion, which is run by Eric Idle's stupid son and daughter, who disguise themselves as giant birds even though there's no giant birds on the planet. My head. The fact that I can even decipher what this movie was about makes me feel physically ill, because I've seen bad movies. I mean, I saw Nightmare Weekend. I've seen Oasis of Zombies, but you know what? I'd rather watch Oasis of Zombies again than watch this, and I hated Oasis of Zombies. I don't think it's the actors' faults. They seem to be going along with it, though I think Jon Lovitz is a bit over the top, but I don't know when he's ever been subtle in any of the roles he's ever been in. I mean, he was bearable in My Stepmother's an Alien, but he was unbearable and annoying as hell in Rat Race. I don't mind him in small doses. I used to love The Critic that he did, and I used to love News Radio when he took over, even before he took over, but when he had to take over from Phil Hartman. But he drives me crazy in this film. I just don't find him funny. It's just trying too hard. And then Jeffrey Jones is just Jeffrey Jones. At times he's a bit chubbier than he was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off and Howard the Duck. And he's a bit of he's playing a dad called Dick. And lots of sex jokes and dick jokes abound in this film because his name is Dick. The only reason we know that they are a mum and dad is at the beginning of the movie they're showing their daughter and her boyfriend, played by Blossom's older alcoholic paramedic brother, who's in it for 5 seconds and then that's it. You don't see them until the very end of the movie. And we see Jeffrey Jones talking to his son the next morning before they leave to Santa Barbara, who happens to be Edward Furlong's best friend from Terminator 2. They could be anybody. They didn't even have to be mum and dad. It's just because that's the title. The original title was just Marge and Dick Save the World. Either way, it's pointless. There's one entire joke in this movie and it's not funny. I mean, I know that when Seth MacFarlane does a joke, sometimes he goes a bit too far with it, like the famous box joke from Family Guy where he's constantly trying to pick up a dead frog with a bit of a box and it just keeps going on. You're like going, it was funny for 5 seconds and then he just keeps going and you're going, it's not going to become funny again. But it doesn't become funny again. It annoyed me, that joke. And I must be just one of those people that just doesn't get it when people just keep doing... Right. There's a joke in this film. So, the joke is they have this thing called a light grenade. You set it off, you put it down, and it says on the bomb, pick me up. The people on this planet see that, pick it up, they disappear. And they see their friend disappear into nothingness and their clothes collapse. They go over and they go, ooh look, there's a light grenade. And they pick it up. And this goes on. And we watch an entire battalion of soldiers, one by one, go up to the same thing after watching their friends disappear, going, oh no, light grenade. Oh no, look, there's a light grenade. It says pick me up. It wasn't funny the first time. It's not funny the 20th time later. And when Seth MacFarlane did it with the frog box thing in Family Guy, it wasn't funny 5 minutes later. It was annoying. I get that might be funny to some small kids, but I don't know any small kids that would watch this and go, yeah, that's really funny. No, I thought that was hilarious. No. They would feel like they were being talked down to. They would feel like they just watched something that was the worst thing in the world. Because it is. I've mentioned that this movie cost $14 million, and it really must have just been on the cast, because we've got Kathy Ireland. She's a beautiful model. She probably cost quite a bit to be in this movie. For her. We've got Sean Wallace from Princess Bride, a Ferengi from Star Trek DS9, because he played the Grand Nagus. He was in Clueless. He's a great character actor. I think he's hilarious. Jon Lovitz. Jon Lovitz apparently was given an ultimatum because the filming of this movie overlapped 2 weeks with SNL. That he had to either choose the movie or SNL. He chose the movie. I hope he regrets that, because in my opinion, that was a really bad mistake. You've got Jeffrey Jones, character actor who turns up in almost every Tim Burton movie going, from Beetlejuice onwards, apart from Batman. I don't remember seeing him in Batman. Teri Garr. Teri Garr is hilarious. I loved her in Young Frankenstein, Friends, and this great episode of Tales from the Crypt that was directed by Michael J. Fox. That was brilliant. And she was great in that. She's actually probably the best thing in this movie. And I watched the whole thing thinking, well, at least she's watchable. Jon Lovitz is annoying. Jeffrey Jones is just Jeffrey Jones. Why is Sean Wallace in this film? And why is his girlfriend Kathy Ireland? Why is Eric Idle in this film? Why is it trying to be a Monty Python film at the start? Oh, because Eric Idle's in it. That's not a good enough reason. The one thing that surprised me about this movie was the composer. See, there was good people behind this film. Greg Beeman directed this film. He hasn't directed any movies since, but, you know, he's directed a lot of TV show episodes, so at least he's still working. I was thinking at one point that maybe he'd stop working, but he's still going. But the composer of all the music in this film is a composer that has composed music for some of the greatest sci-fi films ever. So Jerry Goldsmith did the music for this film. He did the music for Planet of the Apes, Star Trek, Rambo, lots of classic sci-fi. And Mom and Dad Saved the World. How the great have fallen when they do the music for that. I can't even figure out how or why such a film was made. If it was a spoof, I could understand it if it made references to the movies from that period. The costumes look like they're something from like maybe a 50s sci-fi movie. But when Joe Dante did a spoof of a 50s sci-fi movie at the beginning of Explorers, it was your classic spoof of a 50s sci-fi movie. This isn't a spoof. I know it's supposed to be a comedy, but it's just weird. I sat there last night after watching it again, and I was so angry at the fact that I sat and watched it twice in so many days to try and just see if I could figure out why it was supposed to be funny. And I can't figure out why this is meant to be funny. I'm going to let Jay Sherman give his review on this film. So it's over to you, Jay.
It stinks.
See? He even says it stinks. He knows it's awful. Jon Lovitz, character, the critic, knows that this movie is awful. There may be other Jeffrey Jones movies I do, because when I started looking through all his back catalogue of films, I suddenly realised there was a period when he did some really random films. So don't be surprised if you see another one of my videos about a movie which so happens to have Jeffrey Jones in it. But it won't be Howard the Duck just yet. Alright, as I said earlier, I have plans for Howard.
I want to see your license, Jack.
I have no license. I am not Jack.
Next week is going to be another surprise. But ideas are greatly welcome from everyone. So don't be afraid to suggest something just because I didn't choose to do Howard the Duck this week. So if you have any suggestions, I'm more than willing to try. Yeah, we'll see what happens next week. So remember, hit the subscribe button up here. Okay. Leave a comment down below. Give me a thumbs up if you can. And remember what I say every week, folks. Be careful what you watch. There's some seriously dodgy films out there. Bye!
Now then, Earth Dick. This is very important. Open my pants.
I hate this movie.